Yo, it's your boy Jay Swishes, Mr. Put That Shit On, Mr. Him Duncan. And right now I'm rocking out with KUT Media. Let's get it. What's good, everybody? It's T on Becoate, down in KUT Media, and today we're here with Jay Swishes. Jay Swishes, what's good, bro?
Chillin', bro, chillin'.
Out of Brooklyn, New York. Let the people know who you are a little bit, where you from.
So I was born in Canada, Ontario, you know what I'm saying? And I came to Brownsville when I was like 9, 10, and that's when I really started to, develop it into who I am as a man.
Okay, dope. Alright, so you lived in Canada for 9 years.
Yeah.
9 years, word. How was that transition? First, what was Canada like for you?
There was no transition really that crazy because, I was a kid.
Right.
So it's not like I was outside to really understand what really was going on or anything like that, you feel me? So coming to Brownsville, I feel like, I always say that I was born in Canada because that's where I'm always represent Canada. That's where I was born at, you feel me? That's where I came into this world at. So that's why it's a major important thing to me. Shout out to Canada. But when it comes to like really me as a person, really me as Jay Swishes, really me as a man, it was Brownsville that molded me type shit. So that's really where it wasn't really no transition per se to really have a comparison.
Do you remember things from Ontario, from Canada?
I remember this, super clean.
Super clean?
Hell yeah.
Word, okay. So definitely cleaner than New York.
Not even a comparison.
Are there any similarities between Ontario and maybe Brownsville or New York City in general?
I would say this: Canada has a lot of West Indian people.
Mm-hmm.
The West Indian culture is heavy out there. Same thing like in Brooklyn and shit like that. So that's it. That's a parallel I see.
So we can give Drake some slack when he in his his reggae bag trying to feel the reggae vibes.
Nah, cause the thing about Drake is that he surrounds himself with the niggas that really do that sound for real.
Right.
So it's not like he just doing it and not paying respects to the the niggas who really do that shit for real. So yeah.
All right, so let's talk about it. You're 9 years old. You come from Ontario. You land in Brownsville. Historically, one of the roughest neighborhoods in all of New York City.
Okay.
So how was it for you in Brownsville coming up?
It gave me tough skin, street smarts. You gotta know how to maneuver, and you just gotta. The difference is that I had a different type. I always had a different mindset for most of the people that was around me because I just felt like my parents came from the islands, came here with nothing. It's like I gotta make something happen, bro.
Right.
I'm not about to be stuck here forever. That's not where I want to be at. It's not where I want to have my kids at. It's not where I want my homies to be at. So I always was more on a get money type of time and more than anything else. I always on get money shit.
Right. And I'm not from Brownsville, I'm from Uptown in Harlem, but Brownsville specifically, I'm gonna be honest, I don't think I've ever been to Brownsville, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Been to East New York, other parts of Brooklyn, but I don't think I've been to Brownsville specifically. Mm-hmm. Describe Brownsville, where you're from directly, how was it growing up for you, how was that?
A lot of poverty. There's not much opportunities. There's nothing positive. There's no programs, no nothing. The schools is not that great. Actually, I'm being honest, they're not great at all.
Yeah.
Friend people that's close to you, as you get older, the friends start getting smaller and smaller because niggas is dying. Mm-hmm. It's a ghetto everywhere. It's not like, you know what I'm saying, but it's just all about what's up here.
Right.
You could be there, but you don't have to, your mind don't gotta be there.
And you said both of your parents were West Indian from the islands?
Yeah, they're from Grenada.
Both your parents?
Both of my parents, yeah.
Okay, cool. And when did they get here, to the States and stuff?
My mom went to Canada, but my dad came here.
Okay.
And then my mom was out there with me for a while, and then came here type shit.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
And it's a stereotype that people say that growing up in a West Indian household, their parents are very strict. Do you say that's true?
Nah, not all West Indian parents are strict.
Okay.
No, not all West Indian. I would say this though, my mom, she did care about me. Doing good at school and stuff like that. But I was the type of kid that I was good at school, but I was getting in trouble.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But my grades was good, but I'm fighting, I'm doing this, I'm doing all this shit. But I made sure I had them grades,
Do you feel like school was easy? The work was too easy, you was bored type shit? I feel like a lot of people who go to school and they have good grades, but they always fighting. It's like
I just feel like I'm such a creative person that school's kind of boring.
Right.
Because I'm just such a creative person. Like I strive in creativity, creating art. I just feel like what they teaching me is just kind of irrelevant to me.
Right.
It has no purpose to me what I'm doing right now. I mean, of course, the basics, you know, it's good to be intellectually smart, it's knowing how to talk, all that shit plays a part, but like, it was just not, my mind was just not there, especially after my mom passed away. I was homeless for a certain amount of time. All that shit was just like, school was the last thing I was thinking about. You feel me?
So I want to go back to your childhood too. Both your parents are from Grenada. What music were you like listening to growing up? Like were they playing in the household, things like that?
I was listening to a lot of soca and reggae, like, you know, not dancehall reggae. You know, there's a difference.
Right. But what's the difference? Break it down. Because a lot of people think it's the same.
So boom, when you think of when dancehall is like Vibes Cartel, Popcorn, stuff like that. Now reggae is more like Bob Marley, Culture, Lucky Dube, stuff like that. Like, you know, that's reggae. You know what I'm saying? I consider reggae more like meditation music, food for thought. Like, you know, because they used to really talk about a lot of the politics, love, religion, everything. So it's more like food for thought. Dancehall is more vibe, bitches, you know, just you know what I'm saying?
I'm pretty familiar with dancehall music from like house party era, you know, growing up in New York.
Yeah, for sure.
But I'm trying to get more into reggae music this year.
Right.
I'm trying to, you know, dig deeper into that back. So when did you start? Like, how you got into rap? How you got into rapping?
Well, I always had a love for music. So after I graduated high school, and then a couple of years passed, I would say I started taking music seriously like 2018.
Okay, 2018.
Yeah, facts.
So that's when you started.
When I started taking it seriously, but I've been rapping since I was a kid though.
Since you was a kid, like how young do you remember rapping?
I remember elementary school because I remember the teacher used to have me come up in front of the classroom and rap, and then after I rap, all the kids would run up and just tackle me and shit like, oh, crazy and shit.
So your teacher had you rapping?
Hell yeah.
That's a lit teacher.
Hell yeah, hell yeah.
Do you remember the teacher name a lot?
Nah.
But you can say they kind of gave you a jump start to your career. Like that had to build your confidence.
Nah. My mom gave me my confidence.
Okay, shout out to
I
mom.
always felt like I was that nigga.
Right. I see we're gonna get into that, the name of the project.
Yeah,
You got the confidence.
Yeah, my mom always was bigging me up and always gave me that. She always I was like my first fan before I had fans.
Okay, dope. So you got into rapping as a young kid, you always into rapping. Who were you bumping coming up? Like who was you listening to? Like, yo, I wanna be a rapper.
Drake?
Yeah.
Drake and Kanye.
Mm-hmm. Do you remember what song specifically? I feel like a lot of artists have that song that they hear, and that's the one that like really inspires them. Was there a song by either Drake or Ye?
I Say Something, Find Your Love, Marvin's Room, like Kanye, Good Morning. But it's just with Kanye though, I used to really like the full album. Just I can't even give you a specific song. It's just like production. It was just something different.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because he made it cool to be. You know, a lot of in that period of time, you know, it was like a lot of gangster music. You know what I'm saying? And especially on Rock Nation.
Yeah, or
Rockefeller at the time, you know, so they was pushing a lot of gangster music, and he was the one that's like, fuck that shit, something different.
Right.
And he shit hard.
Do you have a favorite album?
My Dark Twisted Fantasy.
Yo, a lot of people say that. I feel like that's one of my least favorite albums.
Least?
Yeah. I'm more of a graduation college dropout type of Kanye. That's my favorite.
Yeah.
Okay, so when you start rapping, you start making music, you said around 2018 you started taking it serious. What song was it that you released that you knew like, yo, I got something with this?
I had released a song called Complicated, and that shit did pretty well, and I got a lot of great feedback from it, and that gave me the confidence, like, oh, I got something, I might as well, you know, see where this goes.
Okay, dope.
Sure.
Okay, so let's talk about Good Company.
Mm-hmm.
It's one of your biggest tracks, one of your most streamed tracks, at least on Spotify.
Right.
Okay, and you even got Kranium and Rowdy Rebel on the remix.
For sure.
So let's talk about that. First, let's talk about the song because that's one of your most streamed songs, and then let's talk about the remix getting Kranium and Rowdy Rebel.
Gotcha.
So like, what was the thought process, the recording process when you made Good Company?
Well, when I heard the beat, like how I create music is that when I hear the production, when I hear the beat, I think to myself, how does this make me feel? And how does this make me feel, and what part or element of my life can I talk about to resonate that feeling that this beat is giving me?
Right.
So that's when I made that record. At first it was just an original record with just me on it. Shot the video. It's about to hit 1 million views on YouTube. And Kranium heard the record through from Def Jam. And we fuck with it. We got in the studio and we did our thing. If you wanna go check that out, the vlog is on my Instagram as well. You can see like me and Kranium in the studio together and stuff like that. And then, you know, Valley, he's another super dope artist, so he heard it, he wanted to jump on it, and that's how the remix came about. So yeah.
That's dope. I saw on your IG that you were in the studio with Kranium, so that's fire.
Mm-hmm.
Like, have you ever, like, I'm assuming you've never been in contact with Kranium before this?
Before the record? No.
Yeah. And were you a fan of his music?
Yeah, hell yeah.
So like, when you in the studio with him, like what's that feeling like?
I mean, it's like, respectfully, I don't get starstruck by nobody because I'm a star.
Right.
You feel me? And we wouldn't even be in the same room if I wasn't, if he didn't respect my talent, my craft. So it was just two dope artists linking up. You respect what I'm doing, I respect what he's doing, and we make it magic.
Don't front, you was hyped a little bit. You had to be a little hyped. Not even that the fact that it's Kranium, but that the fact that you know this record about to be out of there because Kranium.
Yeah. You know, my personality, I'm very like, I mean, my team could tell you, I don't really get too excited about a lot of things because I'm just so like, okay, what's next?
Right.
Like, I'll just be so in my zone and I'm just confident in what I do. It's not to be like, come off as arrogant or like obnoxious. It's just that I know my talent, I know my craft because the song was already shooting on its own. Mm-hmm. You feel me? So, yeah, and before I even started taking music for real seriously, like, you know, I've been around a lot of people that's lit, whatever, so that shit don't faze me. I just respect people's craft, I respect people's talent. Kranium is a super dope artist, he has hits on hits on hits. Right. And it was dope working with him.
Okay, dope. And recently you just had another big feature, big collab, song John Wick with Rowdy.
Yeah.
How did that come about?
So again, I had made the record, it was just me on it. Mm-hmm. And then it wasn't even out. So it was unreleased, and then my team had sent the song to his team, and he heard it, and he was fucking with it, mm-hmm. And then we got into the studio and made it happen.
Oh, so you were in the studio with Rowdy as well?
Yeah, everybody that collabed with, we was in the studio. Like, it wasn't send this over, no, we was in the studio.
And I saw in one of your interviews, like, you came up with the idea if you had to go back and forth on the track.
Sure.
So like, I guess working with Rowdy, he's very like he's on board with whatever works best.
Yeah, you feel me? Especially if you fuck with it, you know what I'm saying? And Rowdy got a really fun vibe to him. Like, he's a cool nigga, you know what I'm saying? And he got a lot of energy and shit, so, you know, shit was dope.
Well, both of y'all being from Brooklyn, did y'all know about each other before, or was that y'all first time meeting in the studio?
That was our first time really meeting in the studio for real.
Okay, dope.
Yeah.
Okay, that's
dope.
dope.
We just had, but we know mutual people and stuff like that.
Okay, cool. And the video for that is dope. It's out on YouTube right now.
Appreciate that.
Alright, so I want to ask you this. You got the big features.
Right.
So I'm gonna ask you this. Do you drop a bag on the features, or is it more so like
relationship?
Relationship based.
It's relationship.
Relationship based?
For sure.
So how do you feel about people, or would you ever drop a big bag for a feature?
I mean, it depends. I could never say no. Like, you know what I'm saying? It really depends. But the trajectory on where I'm going, probably not.
Why
But it might. You know what I'm saying? It depends on who the feature is.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's all about what works and timing and what we got going on and stuff like that.
Okay, dope. And speaking of features and collabs, who is someone you definitely would want to work with in 2023, or maybe some people you are planning on working with this year?
Yeah, so I'm Friday, super dope, Vori, Mr. Chicken, Cola Ray, Shawnee Bin Laden, you know, Lola Brooke, you know, a few people.
Right. Okay. And I'm assuming you'll drop the bag for at least one of those features.
I'm a relationship type of nigga. Like, I really build relationships with people, especially my team. Like, we really build relationships. And some of the people that I named, we already have that relationship already.
And I wanna speak on that a little bit more. I feel like when you have the relationship with the artist, instead of like, I'm gonna send you this bread to hop on this track, I feel like the quality of the track is better. Cause like the artist is more invested instead of like, I'm gonna just spit these bars real quick in my bag and whatever type shit.
Yeah, facts. So relationships is key. The way to not pay for everything is to have relationships. That's just some gem for upcoming artists. Like, you don't want to be just paying for everything. You want to actually have a relationship. You want to actually people to fuck with you because they respect what you do and what you got going on, and just having that genuine connection.
Yeah, definitely.
You save yourself a lot of bread.
I feel like that's that's definitely a big gem for upcoming artists, creatives, just people in general. Life is all about relationships.
That's a big fact.
So I want to ask you, with 2023, we're in a new year, what kind of music are you looking forward to creating this year? Are you looking to, not even this year, but just in general throughout your career, are you looking to be like an artist that has a message in their music? You're looking to be somebody that makes hit records, somebody that's like got the club list? Like, what do you think your lane is?
My lane is timeless music. That's it. When I make a record, whether it be a deep song or whether it be, a feel-good record, 10 years from now, you're gonna be able to play it back, and it's still gonna bump. Right. I don't make microwave shit. I make timeless music.
That's a bar, because we're in the day and age of microwave music.
For sure.
The songs is here today, going tomorrow.
And so is artists.
Facts. So how do you navigate through that and like stay focused on like longevity?
Because I don't care about what the wave is. That's why I don't do drill. Shout out to all the drill artists though. Shout out to all the dope. They dope. I fuck with drill artists. But that's the wave right now. I'm just not on that wave. I made my own wave. Right. Especially when I'm dope at what I'm doing. I don't need to do what other niggas do.
Okay. And then, with most of the city, especially Brooklyn, Brooklyn and the Bronx, definitely have the most drill artists. Like, do you find it hard to stand out, or do you find it easier to stand out in Brooklyn not doing the drill?
It's like give and take. It's kind of like, it might, that's what's lit right now. That's what's in. What I'm doing is per se not that in, but good music is good music.
Right.
So I stand out because I'm not copying. I'm not going with what the wave is, and what I'm doing is dope. Niggas is fucking with it, but it might be more that I gotta do just because of that's what's in. But I'm not thinking about right now. I'm thinking about the future. I'm thinking about longevity. You know what I'm saying? Niggas be having moments. Niggas having a moment. I'm having a career. That's the difference. So you might have to do a little more to do that. So,
and since we're on the topic of drill, I have two more questions on that. Do you feel like being a New York City artist, seeing drill and seeing how it's taking over, what do you think the lifespan of it? You think it still has more time to grow? Or do you feel like it's kind of coming to?
I'll say this: some niggas is gonna last, some not. Some niggas is gonna last, some niggas is not.
Right.
So that's my answer to that. You know what I'm saying?
And I want to ask this: as an artist running around in New York City trying to get your music played, do you feel like the DJs are more biased towards the drill artists? Like they'll play their shit before they play something that's not drill?
Well, the DJ's gonna play what's hot, whether it's drill or not.
Right.
They're gonna go with what's hot and whatever. But again, relationships. Like all the union DJs fuck with me. I done been on Power 105, I done did, and all of that is through relationships. Like, I really be moving like the president outside, shaking hands, kissing babies.
All right. Outside of music, what's some of your interests?
Fashion. I love fashion. That's something I'm about to get into. I got a brand that I'm working on called No Landing. And it's not merch, it's actually gonna be a line. So, you know what I'm saying? So I'm working on that, and that soon come. But yeah, fashion is my thing. Like, I wanna be on some modeling and shit. I wanna get into, I love fashion, I love clothes. You know, when you look at it, you feel good.
Right.
For sure.
How do you think you can incorporate both your music and fashion?
Like my videos, When I'm doing photo shoots, when people see me in public, shows, all of that stuff like that, I always look like how I want to look when I come outside. I take pride in my image and my look.
Right.
So I'm gonna put that, I'm Mr. Put that shit on. So that's how I'm gonna step every time.
Okay, dope. And you just recently did a show at SOBs, right?
Facts.
How was that?
Dope. You know what I'm saying? I headline that show. There was a lot of dope artists on the bill too. Shout out to Rusolo, shout out to Lil Ravelli, shout out to Yaya Gabbana, shout out to Flowboy Deuce, all them niggas.
Okay, dope. Was that your first time at SOBs?
Nah.
Okay,
I
dope.
performed at SOBs before. But I headlined the show.
How does it feel going from I performed at SOBs to I'm headlining the show now?
Progression. There's more room to go though, you know what I'm saying? It's cool, notch on my belt, next.
Okay. And you're big on the what's next mentality. Do you feel like that's a healthy mentality to have?
Yeah, because I'm not the comfortable type. It's like this, right? Certain nigga get a hit, and they get comfortable, chill, and then 1 or 2 years later, you're like, yo, remember that nigga, what happened to him? That's that comfortability. They're not thinking about what's next. They're getting too excited. That's the too excitement. Like, I feel like I made it already. Nah. You know what I'm saying? It's always where I'm trying to go at. You gotta work.
Right. And what's your how do you find a balance? Like, I'm gonna enjoy my W's. Like, I did some dope shit. Cause I'm gonna say me as a creative. Like, I'm in that mentality too. Like, yo, what's next? But at the same time, I gotta sit back and yo, I really did some crazy shit.
Mm-hmm.
That you gotta really take that in. So how do you find the balance?
I think that's what I have a problem with. I don't celebrate my W's like that because I don't really look at it as a W. I don't see it as a W because I just feel like there's more to do. Right. And I'm still not where I want to be at. So it's like in my head, I process like, yeah, that's cool, but it's not a per se W. Mm-hmm. And maybe I'm fucked up for thinking that way. You know what I'm saying? I gotta enjoy W, but I'm just telling you what goes on in my mind, how I think. And that's how I think. I'm trying to get better at it, but that's just how I think.
Okay. So with big collabs with Kranium, with Rowdy, I know the labels gotta be calling or trying to get in contact with you and your team.
Yeah, for sure. I just had meetings with 300. I just had meetings with Republic. So, we sitting down with them, we seeing what the word is, you know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna keep doing my thing though.
Right.
For sure.
So, is one of your goals to be signed to a major?
If it's right, if it makes sense. If it don't make sense, then we're gonna keep rocking out how we rocking out.
And right now you're independent?
For sure.
Okay, so, being an indie artist, what's some of what do you think, advantages that you have right now being indie, and what do you think you could get from a label if you were to sign? What are you looking to get from a major if you were to sign?
I'm looking to get certain connections that they got, certain just certain connections and things like that. And also extra back to push where, win-wins, that's all of that. But again, right situation, right sense, because, I'm a businessman as well, you know what I'm saying? I'm not just an artist. I really study the business. I know what's going on. I'm not a fool. Right. Neither is my team. So again, business got to be right. Right. Because you don't want to get fucked in the future.
And as fucked up, as labels can be and some of the contracts can be, a lot of what they provide to artists can really take their career out of there. And I feel like if you're an artist, you go into it with the right team and the right mindset, you can really take advantage of that.
As an artist too, it's your job and your responsibility to understand the business. It's called a music business for a reason. It's not called music. It's a music business. So you should take time out, other than recording and making music, and to really study this and really study the music contract, study interviews and hear what people saying and all that stuff. So I'm a student of the game, feel me? So I really study this shit. So I know what's going on, and I'm really in tune and hands-on with everything that goes on that concerns with Jay Swishes.
Okay, dope. So we know a lot of your music, a lot of, labels talking to you, some of your interests. Growing up, you've been through a lot in life, you still persevered, made it through. What motivates you? What pushes you? What keeps you going?
Knowing the life that I want to live. That's really it. I got a little brother who got Down syndrome. It's like, you know what I'm saying? Really my family, I just want to provide. Right. I want to give my family a different life, and I'm getting older and shit. I'm about to have my own family and shit, so I know the life that I want them to live. So I always think about the future. I don't just think about right now. I'm just, it's no time to be. You gotta push forward. You gotta persevere. Because at the end of the day, a lot of people, a lot of successful people, when you hear their stories, there was some bullshit that they had to go through to get where they was at. So I just look at it as, making it through the storm.
And would you consider yourself like someone that plans things out way ahead of like in advance? Like, or are you big on manifestation? Like, are you a spontaneous person? Like, yo, I'm just out here doing my shit. If this happens, it happens.
No, I plan. I definitely very calculated on the moves that I make and the stuff that I say, and just like everything is calculated. It's nothing is just like, oh, hey, I'm about to just go out and just do whatever. Like, everything is calculated, what I do.
Okay, so in the second month of the new year, you're actually our first interview of this year, so shout out to you for that.
Appreciate you.
You're about to start off a crazy run for us, so shout out to you for that. What can the listeners, your fans, what can they expect from you 2023?
So look out for Call Me Nothing But Him. That'll be like the last EP in a trilogy. And all I'm gonna say is that just look out for that. It's gonna be bangers on there. You're gonna see some people, you're gonna see some features on there that's gonna bust your heads. Videos, more shows. We outside with this shit, bro. You know what I'm saying? It's I'm not up next, I'm up now, you feel me? And I'm gonna let niggas know that.
Speaking of the confidence, you got I'm him,
for sure.
I'm really him,
for sure.
Call me nothing but him,
for sure.
So,
and the message behind that is I want to make sure that I want people to be more confident in themselves. There's nobody like you. There's nobody like me. We one of one, and everybody should feel like that. You should wake up in the morning and be like, yeah, I'm really that nigga. I'm really that person. Be confident in yourself, because when you step into the room, that shit plays a big part. Like your energy, your aura. People really feel that shit. You know what I'm saying? I just want people to lift their heads up. That's it.
All right, cool. And to wrap up the interview, what's some gems, some words of advice that you can give to any upcoming artists, creatives, or people watching this interview?
I would say this, right? Relationships is key, and also how you treat people is key. Because this shit is up and down. When you at the top, sometimes you fall. But if you treated people like shit, now when you fall and you have no foundation, nobody gonna fuck with you. So you should treat people with respect and be genuine as long as you're receiving that shit back. So I'm big on treating people the way I want to be treated. I'm big on relationships and stuff like that, because that's building a foundation. And if you want that, that's what you gotta do.
All right, man. I heard it here. I heard the words from Jay Swishes. A lot of quotables in this interview. Y'all gonna run this back a lot of times. I know that. So Jay, I want to thank you for kicking it with us.
Kicking
it with KUT Media. We out of here.